What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for continuing to be a part of the tribe. Shout out to all of my Patreon members that continue to hold me down. Just getting ready to shoot some moves in the streets. Hang out with Rita for a little bit. See what's popping before the late night live stream. Speaking of which, I need to schedule that too. Yo, what we see happening throughout the industry and in society at large is just about to put my Rolex on in a minute, but you can't put it on because you're holding this with both hands. So if you pick up this, I don't know. Speaking of what's going on in the industry at large lately, and when I say the industry, I'm talking about in the economy. All right, you got inflation going crazy. You got the recession impending. Look good, don't it? You got the recession pending. You have a war that's been lasting for an extended period of time that most people don't even understand why we in it. You got women complaining that they can't find a man. You got content creators falling off because they didn't even realize that it wasn't as much money in YouTube as they thought it was. You have people getting laid off from their jobs. Still got a pandemic technically because they're saying that another one may be on a horizon in the future, in addition to the idea that people are having some level of civil unrest when it comes to Roe v. Wade. It's so much toxicity in the air. A lot of it. A whole lot of it. So how do you detach, right? How do you divest from the worst parts of us, but at the same time stay informed on what's going on? Now, me personally, if I wasn't on YouTube and if I wasn't a content creator, I wouldn't know anything about most of this stuff. Like, I wouldn't even care, because if it did not make me money, then I wouldn't even entertain it. If it wasn't something that made me happy, I wouldn't be around it. And you are in the midst of some of the most negative things in society, always involved, always immersed, always angry, always arguing with people, always putting yourself in a position to be discluded from certain environments because you are a toxic person. You are a poor person. You have a poor person's mentality. You always are involved with things that are messy. And I'm not even talking about just from a content creation perspective. I'm talking about the things that you attract yourself to. You attract yourself to messy people that do not have your best interests at heart. Facts. Listen, if it's a lie, you told it. Because the only thing that I do, right, what makes me unique is that I'm never the person that will show you anything other than what you hand me. Most of the time when I'm having conversations with people and I'm going into coaching sessions, shout out to everybody that's a part of the Patreon. We got a Patreon meetup tomorrow. And then we got the Patreon live meetup, in-person meetup on the East Coast. The only thing that I do when I coach people, and if you need to get in touch with me, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com, is I just show you who you really are, and then I give you the tools that you need in order to be successful. If you tell me that this guy is trash and all I do is find trash men, then I'm going to strategically, I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to show you. I'm going to strategically show you how you're a toxic woman. If you tell me that it's garbage women out here and I can't find anything but chicks that's for the streets and they always some trash chick that got 4 baby daddies, I'm going to show you why you're a person that attracts that type of attention. You are what you attract. I'm just telling you the truth. The sum total of your life is the people that you spend the majority of your time with, the content that you take in, the music that you listen to. If you are always finding yourself in a space where everything about you and the only outcomes or the people that you find yourself around are negative people, gotta look in the mirror. Gotta turn this camera around, look in the mirror instead of looking out the window to other people in order to determine how you can do things a little bit differently. If everything you do and every job that you go to you get fired from, it cannot be the man's fault. It can't be the job's fault. It can't be everybody else that is the negative person. Most of the time when we have conversations, and you know how I always say, hey, you need to divest yourself from the things that's the worst for you. Sometimes I might be talking about you that other people need to divest themselves from. A lot of times we don't look in the mirror and identify where our problem areas are and how we're influencing or impacting other people to be the way that they are. And so what we do is we blame everybody else for our problems. We say that it's everybody else that's toxic. I need to get out of the hood, but you are very much the person that the hood embraces because you are helping to make the hood the way that it is. Facts. Listen. In order to really get different results, you got to change this. You got to change this, your heart, your mind, the way that you think, and then you change the people that you surround yourself with. You may very much be that toxic person that you don't like other people being around, and then they identify the toxic person, and then you looking around like this, like, who they talking about? You? It's all you. I'm telling you, one thing that Anton is going to do is I'm always going to just absolutely positively tell you the real. I'm not going to give you no fluff. This ain't no fluff. This ain't all of that extra. This ain't no beating around the bush. You need to change your attitude. You need to change the way you think about things. You need to start being a more honest person, and you need to have better character when it comes to how it is that you move and getting the results that you want. And then you'll start to attract the person that you're supposed to be with. And then you'll be able to build a network of people that you then can lean off of in order to make sure that y'all continue to become best versions of yourselves. But if one person come in and they mess it up for everybody else, that's it. Everything explodes from there. So I would just encourage you to go about doing some self-checking, right? If you get fired from your job, it may not be because they was just laying off. It was because your attitude and people don't like working with you, and it's very difficult to rock with people that's bad for the culture of the company that you're trying to work with. Whenever I hire somebody, I am more concerned with A, work ethic, B, whether or not I'd want to work with them, because the first rule in sales and leveling up in corporate America is that you have to be somebody that people like being around. And if people are avoiding you, if people hate seeing you coming, if people start snickering every time you walk into the room, in every room, I ain't talking about some rooms where people are just toxic and they gossiping and, you know, you got some family members that's moving a little bit suspect and all of that. I'm talking about every single room, no matter what job you go to, it's a problem. You're a problem. All right? You need to do a little bit of a self-evaluation and see how you can move a little bit differently. I love you. I appreciate you. Again, if you are not a part of the Patreon and, you know, trying to join a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat of the premiere. All right. And then in addition to that, if you need to get in touch with me personally and you want to kick it with me and say, Anton, I need some real special one-on-one help. And it doesn't matter what it is, building relationships and networks, money, business, corporate America, you need me to look over a contract, whatever it is, if you need to get in touch with me, make sure you email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com and I'm going to get you set up. Or you can go to my website, antondaniels.com, click the email link. It'll launch an email client, and then you can send me a message from there. I love you. I appreciate you. Please look in the mirror before looking out the window. Hold yourself accountable. Get the beam out of your own eye before you decide you want to become somebody else's life coach. All right? I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.